Hey, welcome back to Sarge Streams. I'm Sarge. I'm bringing podcasts to you guys today, and I wanted to talk as a music reactor today. Get something off my chest and just be a little bit more transparent with you guys. I don't know who will see this video and who will even care, right? Just is what it is. But I wanted to talk about music reactions today, and I've touched on this subject before multiple times, and it's not specifically to give a lot of traction to the trolls, but I'd like to touch on something for a small minute because this is going to be recorded and it's probably going to be not as long. It's definitely not going to be as long as the lives, but it's probably going to be, a few minutes. Let's say that, right? Here's what I'm going to say, okay? I know there's a lot of people out there that have no idea who I am and what I do. And even then, when they come to my channel, I'm probably pretty high energy. My intros, pretty lively, and so are my outros. And of course, I have, the little things for merch and membership and stuff like that. So I'm not very much different than any other monetized channel out there. But I do music reactions, as we well know. Um, you get you do this stuff because you love music, because you just want to share whatever it is out there to people, whoever it is that you're looking at. You just want to bring it. In my case, a lot of times, like, let's take people like Dimash or an Aurora or maybe a Diana or maybe even Stan Walker and things like that. I'm not saying, like, look, all these people, for example, are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful entertainers, right? And I'm sure in real life they're probably great people too, but I don't know any of these people. But the way I feel is growing up, I don't really remember hearing a lot of people from across the globe in America, okay? So my goal kind of is to bring some of these people to the front lines, like I always say, to people around me that would probably had never, had the opportunity to hear some of these awesome, awesome, awesome voices. It just is whatever bubble that we live in over here. I want to inject awesome, all the awesome foreign artists out there. I mean, foreign to us anyway, right? And, I do it for free. I do it for free. I'd like to point that out. I do it for free. YouTube hardly pays me shit. Just saying it, just so you understand. So basically, I do all this for free. I do it because I love it. That's how much I love it. And day in and day out, there's hateful ass people every single day. Why don't you shut up? Why don't you didn't know the keys or the octaves or this, that, the other? Well, first of all, let's back up for a second. I'm never gonna shut up. I always have conversations with you guys before and during and after, because it's a reaction channel, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to stare at the screen. I understand there are people that watch it all the way through and then come back through and back it up and then do all that. um, okay, fine. And then there's other people that they do a different way. This is the way I do it. I tell you, even in the beginning, I'm going to stop and talk. And it just gets fucking old to have to keep trying to say that to a bunch of people that don't obviously appreciate it. That's what it really feels like, man. It's like, look, you can go watch this on your own if you don't like my reaction to it, and you don't have to drop by and say stupid shit. Now, with that being said, I want to thank you for saying said stupid shit, because guess what? Any negative thing that you say and you leave a comment on that's not blocked by YouTube's super filter, whatever that may be, where you went crazy off the deep end and said really hateful things to a complete stranger that you don't know, and if you do know them, then you hide behind some other username that, you see what I'm saying? So, like, it's meant nefarious. That's my whole point. The whole thing is to throw you off, so you either stop reacting or something. I don't know. I don't get it. Look, I watch thousands of reaction channels, and I do research now, and I'm pretty animated, and we talk about a lot of things, and I would say that I'm either on par or better than a lot of your just normal regular channel. I've seen people, man, literally, I've seen people just sit there the entire time and say, "Well, that was good, man. I thought they were fantastic. Really like that." And that was it. Now, granted, I realize those people that are upset with me because I didn't do the reaction the way they wanted to do it or whatever it is, probably have either never heard of them or, they went over and said something hateful to them too because they're some kind of zealot super fan. And it's like, look, there's nothing wrong with being a super fan, but when you start attacking people on their channels, saying hateful things, and I just referenced one thing that I got today, just got today. Um, I did the research on Dimash because I watched a video. You know what I'm saying? And I watched another video of a person that he and her have a mutual respect for. Is Laura Fabian, okay? And then I talked about Igor and things like that. I even had somebody subscribe and say, Sarge, I appreciate the fact that you did a little bit of research and understood why this song was being sung and some of the comparisons and things like that. I appreciate that because, while we love reactors and we watch lots of reactors, if you want to evolve, you have to evolve beyond the O's and wows. You have to have some explanation and you have to have some background story. And I truly 100% get that. I understand it. I get it, and that's what I'm trying to evolve to do. Like, look, here's what I'm going to say. I was a gaming channel, okay? And I switched over to music because I wanted to spend less time here because of health, not because anything's wrong with my health. I'm healthy as a horse, actually. Just I had some worse posture, which I'm still doing things for physical therapy wise because of I was like kind of I don't know, crumbling into myself to a degree because of bad posture. Let's just say that, and not wanting to spend tons and tons of time here because I wanted to work on other things in my life because we got a lot of stuff going on that we just haven't divulged completely yet. It just is what it is, right? So it is what it is. Like, again, I want you to understand, I'm not necessarily butthurt. I'm kind of sick of the attitude that, and I'm not the only one. I'm actually trying to speak for channels my size and smaller and maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit. I mean, I know you get hate on every channel. I know, man. And I know some of these people say some wild, crazy stuff. I've had some of that, and then I've had moderate versions and lower versions of that all the way. I like the people that try to sneak in and start off with a bunch of compliments, but then you realize they're all like, not really. They're shots. They're like disingenuous, right? You get a lot of things like that. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm not a vocal expert, like a vocal coach or any of these type things. I'm not a teacher of any kind. I don't play instruments. I don't do any of those things. And I certainly sure as hell don't come on and act like I'm a musical genius of any kind or, any kind of expert that you have to listen to. I get all that. I understand that. I'm just a regular dude that has a whole bunch of choir background, and I understand the forming of vowels and the head placement and like your postures and things like. I understand all that when it comes to singing, how it helps you with notes and things of that nature. But I don't dive completely into that because again, I'm not a vocal coach. I'm a reaction channel. You were coming to me for me to explain the little bit I know for context if need be so you can understand where I got the knowledge from, okay? And then you're watching me react to probably your favorite artist, and a lot of times, well, let's be fair. Not one time have I ever come on here and ever shit down any artist that's out there. Not one. Not one. I've said with Dimash one time, I didn't really care for the song because it was a Celine Dion song, and I don't think, knowing what I know now, for sure I know that I made the right decision or call when I said that because it didn't show off his true talents. What I mean by that is I felt like the song was beneath what he could do, and I am absolutely 100% right on that. But that's the worst thing that's been said. Or I think the second worst thing, I don't have a preference for country, right? I just don't care for country as much. I'm not saying there's no country I don't like. I just, for the most part, it's not really my thing. I like hip hop, R&B. I like, jazz, and I like a whole bunch of stuff, man. Clearly, look at the music reactions. Okay, that's my whole point, man. So you're coming to my channel on your own free will. I didn't put a gun to your head and make you come over here. And then I get day after day after day after day after day after day. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm not, this isn't a woe is me. You just get sick of the bullshit, man. You get sick and tired of it. As a music reactor, I shouldn't be getting attacked daily when all I did was praise your favorite artist. I get, what's funny is like I get thousands and thousands of comments as well talking about Sarge. I really enjoyed the reaction. A lot of times they're praising of the artist, of course, and then they say, "Hey, love the reaction. Good job, brother." Whatever it is. And I realize I'm addressing probably a 1% here, okay? But I just feel like on YouTube, we need to change that culture, man. I know there's hateful people out in this world, and I know there's hateful people on YouTube for sure because there's a bunch of miserable ass shit going on in the world. We know that. Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to dumb it down today. I'm sick and tired of censoring myself so that way I can appease everybody. I'm going to tell you how I really feel today, and if you if you want to know, then get on in the car and buckle up. Okay? Get your kids out of the room, as some other individual says. Okay? Love that individual too, by the way, because he speaks his mind as well, and I'm going to do that today. Look, man, I do my best for you guys. Okay? And I'm trying to evolve it to a point where not only is it entertaining, but it is a little educational, and you feel like that you really get something from the reaction, even if it's just a small distraction, which is my main real true focus for you guys a lot of times, because I know life sucks. I know there's days that you're having a bad day, and just you're looking for any kind of outlet to kind of turn that around a lot of times, But coming to people's channels and attacking them, and again, this wasn't sparked by today. This has been sparked for over a year's worth of dumbass comments from people that don't know me, make a lot of assumptions. I mean, I've been called stupid American, and again, I wasn't touting, oh, America's the greatest and this, that, the other, and like, I don't do that, man. Most of my audience is foreign, outside of the U.S. Clearly. I mean, what I mean by that is like most of the things I do are foreign artists compared to my American artist. I have a huge American following. I could just play to that and just start doing American artists and shut all that shit off. Could, because that's where the most of my hate comes from. That's what's funny. And it's like I'm not doing anything intentionally to try to disrespect anybody or anything like that. I'm not going to go out of my way and, talk crazy. But if I don't like a song or whatever, yeah, I'm going to tell you that. If I don't like the song or if I find out I don't like the artist, you'll know that. I'll tell you that. I'll still be respectful about it because, again, I probably can't do their art. I mean, maybe. In most cases, I'm pretty sure I can't, I'm not perfect. I do the reactions to the best of my ability. I try to make it lively, fun, and enjoyable, and like I said, to be that distraction. That's kind of what it is, But at the same time, I'm also bringing awareness of whoever this is to pump their music out, even if it only helps a teeny fragment somehow out there, a pebble of sand on a whole beach of other people doing it. Because that's the other problem is it's so convoluted with people in this space. Just like gaming and a lot of other niches, honestly. There's just too many people in it. And yeah, I'm going to say it. Everybody needs to improve on their craft and do things of that nature. And there's times where I don't give the best reactions. And I screw up details all over the place, depending on what it is. And there's times I think to myself, maybe I shouldn't do reactions. Until I can step my game up or, some kind of thought like that. But then I go watch YouTube and I see what's out there and I realize, no, there's a space for me. I do okay. I'm not saying I'm better or worse than anybody. That's not where I'm at. But I feel like compared to a lot of the talent, there's a lot of people out there I go, okay. And then there's people out there I go, oh, I'm not as good as them. And you say, well, Sarge, who are those people? People like the charismatic voice. I mean, I really think the people that are better than me they've either done this longer or they have some kind of qualification behind them. Like I said, the charismatic voice, Beth Roars, There's a couple opera singer ladies that I watch from time to time. Um, and I've had comments, I guess, formulating my experience here. In the beginning, I used to vape. I don't do that anymore because of my health. Again, that was a part of the health problems, not necessarily problems, but things I was taking care of to better myself, despite whether we're doing this on YouTube or not. I don't vape at all, but I don't, I was vaping on stream, or I do this, that, the other. And I've cleaned up a lot of behavior when it comes to, um, things that I can control when it comes to, sort of detrimental looking things like vaping, because some people are like, wow, you can't wait that long, or it looks unprofessional or something of that nature. Constructive criticisms, totally understand it, totally get it, man. But if you're coming to somebody's channel and all you can say is shut up, or you talk too much, or you don't know nothing, or this, that, the other, or whatever, and it gets exceedingly more hateful from that point. I mean, I'm going to read you something. Um, I'm going to read you something here. This is the comment I got today. I know you can't see it on the screen, but I'm going to read it to you. And it's not uber hateful. It's just, this is the crap that you get. In lowercase, well, sort of. Why don't you shut up? If you don't know what voice, octave colors of voice registers, nothing, well, something. I don't know what that means. Please, not even Andrea Borselli, Lara Fabian could react to Dimash why everything changes in seconds. What? Um, this is the video I was talking about with Dimash. So everybody's clear, just so that way we can understand. This is a very mild comment, okay? Just so you know. I went into the reaction and I talked about Laura Fabian because I saw her on TV, okay? And then I noted, hey, look, there's Igor. Okay, I didn't know that he was connected with her because I didn't know that, right? So I watched the video. A couple videos down, I saw Dimash had done the same similar song. And then I started doing a little research and realized there was a connection there. I talk about it. And I talk about her rendition and what she does that's different from Dimash. Even though in the beginning of it, I obviously don't know that, but like that's when everything's said and done, she has ticks and things where she's theatrical, right? And whatever, where Dimash is sort of more grandioso or dramatic with what he's doing, and he changes up a few little lyrics here because the song is called Mademoiselle Hyde, right? It is what it is. Never once have I ever talked about key for any of them. What key they're in, I don't know, because I don't play instruments, and I'm not like Marcus Veltray or Rob Landis or whatever. I can hear something and instantly know. I'm not trained that way because we're not talking about that. Like in my reaction, I'm focusing on the things that I do know. You know what I'm saying? It's like thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of songs or reactions, and or people coming in saying, "Hey, I love it. Thank you." This individual, that's what they say. Just in case you want to know what my response was, and I left it up. It says, "You came to my channel. I'm not going to shut up. You can be as hateful as you want behind a computer screen, but guess what? You control nothing, you can do nothing, and your comments mean nothing. Have the day you deserve." And this is a person, uh, Isabella Luna 6389. It's still up on my page today, and I'm just saying, like, look, man, I didn't come to your page. Not that they even have a channel, but I didn't come to their channel and start spouting off a bunch of hateful things when all I was respectful and kind and promoting and happy and positive and whatever. And this is my point. I'm not butthurt about what she said. I get butthurt about the culture that is being presented where this is okay. It's very much into the cyberbullying per se, and it's gross. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's damaging if you're a weaker minded individual. And that's not what this is about. It's the culture of people that watch YouTube that are going to be watching reactors needs to change, in my opinion. I'm not saying you need to lower your standards. I'm saying you need to. I'm saying you need to um, really look at some of the individuals in that group and be like, we don't do that here. You know, other people. The reason I even bring this up is this. Okay, there are other people that aren't in the place of healing that I'm at. They aren't in the tank and the bubble and the things of that nature, and maybe mentally they're in a much worse place. Let's say that. And there's channels like that. Okay? And sometimes because we're all going through things, you never know what people are going through, but everybody's going through something, and I understand that this person here, maybe they've got some things in their life and maybe they think it was just a direct comment. And I was just saying that, this, that, the other, I'm sure they'll find a way to try to justify their shitty, disrespectful comments, basically, right? Because that's what we're talking about. It's one thing if you critique a channel, okay? If you're going to come on to a reactor's channel, and I'm not talking about somebody that does act like a dumbass. I'm talking about somebody that comes in here and day in and day out, and you can tell this is what they want to do, and they enjoy what they do, and it's pretty evident. And you just want to come into their channel and shit on them, so that way they'll get discouraged and stop, or you can deteriorate their mental health or something, right? It's a nefarious idea, no matter what you want to say, and it's disrespectful, and it's bullshit. And especially considering a lot of this stuff that you get is free. You didn't pay for this. I'm not, you went to it willingly. A lot of you come to the channel willingly. Now, granted, you willingly come into my channel, but I also have to do things to make you want to stay. But what baffles me is people that are hateful from the get for no reason whatsoever that keep wanting to come back so they can keep piling on. And then there will be people that will like those hateful comments that you can tell there's no way that anybody reading these comments could ever not think, oh, you mean this disrespectfully. You know what I'm saying? And then you like it because you're a hater too. Yeah, I get channels get them, and I've got a few. I know there's about 8 to 10 of you guys out there, especially the bigger my number goes up when the views you can watch the little thumbs downs. Well, thank you, because you help me every single time you do that. I just want you to know it. The stupid comments, see, this is the fun part about it. The stupid comments help fuel your algorithm. Because you think the 10 little dislikes on a 6,000 viewed plus video, which I realize isn't shit because I'm just a small little channel, okay? But all the rest of them are likes. So YouTube's going to look at that, and there may be some adjustments in the algorithm or whatever, but for the most part, they're going to say, hey, it's a good video. It's not going to be like Mr. Beast type good, but it's going to be good, right? Good enough. So all you do is fuel. Whenever you do that, the dislike, see, that's the stupid thing about it, right? Like YouTube in general. If the video is that bad, like, when they're doing their checks, if it's what I mean by bad is like if it's a video that is like against YouTube standards, they should just not let you post it. But the other side, the flip side of that thing is this. You shouldn't punish the reactor because you got some zealots and people saying stupid things, and they don't. Not honestly, but they also don't go after a lot of the times unless you report them. They don't go after the commenters. But here's the best thing about that. I'll leave you up because your negative comment is actually fueling my algorithm to see more people. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And if it gets super bad, I'll either block you from the channel, which is not a problem, but I don't like doing that. I understand there's just some people, it's like, I get it. You got to do that for. I don't like doing that because maybe you'll come back and see me and be like, maybe I was too hard on that guy, or something. Maybe I was just having a bad day. I don't like, I like to give people that second chance. It's not about being nice. It just helps my algorithm. Uh, and the other side to that is if I don't do that, then I'll just hide you from the channel. You can go nuts. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do, but nobody ever sees anything that you do, which is what I do with most of them. You can keep commenting and driving my algorithm, and I'll never see your comment, and no one else will either. But you can still do it. That's more fun. I don't know, man. I see a lot of people try to bully people all day long, specifically smaller channels, and I hate it. I hate it for that person, and then I hate that you have people out there that have nothing better to do. Like, I get everybody has haters. I get it. I understand it. I'm no different. I'm going to gain more eventually, maybe even after this. It's fine. But I hope that you come with the understanding that, like, take No Life Shack example. I know not everybody out there even knows who that is, let alone watches No Life Shack. I get it. I understand. Take you a Stevie Knight, a Crypt, a Knox Hill, and a bunch of Charismatic Voice and Beth Roars and all these just people in the music space, okay? A lot of those people don't have a musical background. A lot of them. Now, obviously the vocal coaches do and things of that nature. I get that. But like, what makes Knox Hill credible? Outside of the fact that he's one of the, if not the best bar breakdown channel on YouTube, is his musical background, because that's why he knows what he's talking about, because he's a rapper. Okay? Is No Life Shack a rapper? No. Not that I'm aware of. I think he's had a verse on somebody's cipher. Excuse me. Somebody's cipher, I think he had one time that I can remember. For example, and he's fairly successful, right? And I don't know, like, he's pretty plugged in and been doing it for a while, and so he has a good background with hip hop. That's what's helping him, right? But outside of that, for the most part, he's like everybody else, and so are all these channels, right? Because again, it's more so for the reaction a lot of the times, not specifically. Now, granted, I realize there's niches for people that want to come into channels where you do have a vocal coach, or you have somebody playing an instrument, or or they're keying up. Okay, oh, she's C key or D key, or whatever. I get it. I understand it. But the majority of reactors don't do that because they don't have those talents. They're literally reacting. It's like people who do like movie reviews and things like that. Well, do you guys get on them about producing the movie? Oh, God, you don't know how to put the camera over here, or you don't know how to, you don't know how to direct the, like, see how ridiculous that is? Like, I'm not claiming the art is mine. That's the whole point of this niche. I'm not saying I did it. I'm just pointing out the things that I can of it and bopping along and trying to be educational a little bit and entertaining at the same time, and us have a good time. That's it, man. And then spread whatever your favorite artist is out to the world. But there's people out there that constantly try to hammer away. I saw it the other day. I saw a lady, she came on. Her first words were, "Hey, guys, I've had a stroke." This is what she said. "I've had a stroke, and I have a hard time saying names, specifically like foreign names." And she was talking about Deanna and Kudinova, okay? And she goes, "But here's what I'll say to you. I love Deanna, but I hate when I do these because you guys are so hateful." That right there, my friend, is exactly what the hell I'm talking about. This woman didn't do anything wrong. I watched the reaction. She doesn't look, I mean, outside of being female and different, like, it doesn't look much different. I'm not saying it's this put together or whatever as far as the, how it looks or whatever, but for the most part, there was nothing wrong with anything that she did in the reaction or what she said in the reaction. Granted, maybe this is a better one, but my point being is, then she ended it with, "I hope you guys aren't mean to me again." Because what? Because she's nice? See, that it's like it invites predatory activity, right? Like, we're all nice. We're all human beings. Like, I think everybody's, well, capable of being nice. Let's say that. But for the most part, your average individual out there is probably pretty funny, pretty you know, pretty generally nice. But people take advantage of that and they prey on it and they think, oh, if they're too nice, then I can walk all over them and I can say the hatefulest things to them, and they got to keep taking it. They got to keep taking it because I'm faceless. I can hide behind all these fake usernames and bullcrap that whatever that they created just so they could say the hateful thing that they did. Or they just know that, well, I'm over here in, I don't know, Brazil and they're in America and I'm just going to say something stupid because I can. And I realize there is an element of probably kids that get on accounts and say just whatever because of whatever. But most of these people, I'm not giving that pass to because my streams are 18 plus. It's marked in YouTube that way. Everything about it screams it. Okay? And so this is a grown ass person that hasn't mentally grown up, that doesn't know that you don't attack strangers online, because you know a lot of these people would never say this stuff to your face. Not only that, but you wouldn't surround yourself with these type people in the first place. And then you're running around bullying itty bitty channels. Not that I'm not pretty itty bitty myself. And thinking that nobody's going to clap back or that it's okay and that we need to continue this conversation. Like, you know, what's funny is I found that there's a lot of people out there that ever since the pandemic, they must have gotten really bored because all they can think of to do in their life is be bullies. Even if it's a faceless cowardice bully. That's what they do, man. And it's like, it gets, like I said, this isn't just specifically for me, okay? This is a call to the other reactors out there, because I know I know for a fact, I know 100% that I'm not the only one, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are miserable, hateful, hate their own life, don't like where they're going, don't like the skin they're in, that want to bring you down. And my suggestion to you, if you're one of those people, is stop it. Stop being weird. Go get help. Better your life and focus on other things in your life than attacking people. Because eventually you're going to run into somebody and you're going to try that stuff out in real life somewhere, or maybe you're smart enough never to do that. But you're going to run into somebody eventually that they're going to swing back. And I'm not suggesting that for you or for them. I personally, I don't think they should waste their time on you. And I realize this is something that I probably shouldn't have wasted my time on. But I'm going to say it anyway. If you come to people's channel just so you can be a bully and you can attack people because you're faceless, you're a coward. You're a bully. And you're really a piece of shit. And I hope you know it. And yeah, I hope you know that I feel that way about you. And I hope that every day you see my face, it reminds you, because I'm not going to stop. You can't stop me from doing this. And we're talking about, you're like, this isn't hate speech. I'm directing it at every bully that's ever come on somebody's channel and said something crazy. This is because of your actions, not mine. I'm just one of the few people that is just going to say something about it because we finally get tired of it. I mean, I've touched on it quite a bit, but this is over a year. So I'm not really addressing anybody in particular. I'm just talking to the bully in general. Just is what it is, man. But I just, they think they've won a lot of times, and they haven't. not even remotely close. That's the fun part about it. It gets to the point where you just start laughing at it, man. Like, not today, Satan. Look, I know I'm not perfect. And I know a lot of these music reactors out there aren't perfect either. They miss details just like I do. I know, I see it. I watch the things that people jump all over me about just to go see if they jump all over them about it too. I see what's going on. I understand it. And it's the negative side of this genre, or whatever you'd like to call it, niche of anything on the internet, right? I mean, like, there's mean tweets out there for celebrities and stuff, right? Jealous people that can't do what they do, hate that they're not up there, or whatever the hell, whatever their thing is, right? I get we all get haters, and There's, the bigger you get, the more of them you have, and on and on and on. It's just, why do we accept that as a culture? Why do we accept people that run around being jealous? It's one thing if you're jealous or you just don't like somebody. Okay, fine. But when you make the conscious effort to continually go into people's channels and things of that nature, because you don't have to. First of all, nobody's forcing you to go to anybody's channel, and nobody's forcing you to return if you didn't like what you saw. I can't speak for everybody, but that's definitely how it is on my channel. If you never want to come back, then don't. I won't miss you. If you're a subscriber and then all of a sudden you start taking this crazy path where you feel like it's necessary to disrespect me personally, I won't miss you. If you're a member and you feel the same way, I won't miss you. I'm just doing this because I love it. A lot of people think, oh, you're doing it for the masses and so you can get great big and you can. I mean, there's an element there because why would you start a channel if you didn't want to be successful? And people's success can vary to different degrees, and what necessarily do they mean by that? But for the most part, I do this for me. It's fun for me. It's a therapy for me. I enjoy it. And so, no, I'm not going to stop. It doesn't matter what you say. And these other people, they just need to get on board with that too, I think. Need to understand that that's not the way you do things around here. That's not be an accountable adult for once in your life. If you don't like something, then just be like, oh, I didn't really care for that. Maybe I look at it kind of twofold. Sometimes you just don't like the music that I have selected. Okay. So you're not. I had a guy one time, he told me he didn't care for the background music I had selected. It was very hip hop. Okay, I understand that. I get it. But it's only on when I was talking, not the actual reaction. But his words were, I had to turn it off. Why? Because you're racist? I mean, because it was more ethnic than you enjoyed? Just a. If you have a preference, I hated it. If you were enjoying me so much, my point being is if you're enjoying me so much, you wouldn't be focused on the little barely hearable music that you can hear in the background. You're just looking for an excuse. So you can, like, I get people that try to bait me into conversations a lot. Like I'll be like, let's say it's that Oliver Anthony video that I have that has almost 40,000 views on it. People all the time try to bait me into some kind of political discussion when they can't just get my attention with a hateful comment. Or they do the backward thing, like I told you, the backhanded comments. It's my point, man. It's like there's a whole bunch of people out there that just want to argue and watch the world burn, but they don't really even understand what that means, because if the whole world's on fire, you're inside the fire. What does there's not going to be anything left. And I think they think, well, I'll rebuild it. You don't have the tools. You're busy tearing things down. You certainly don't have anything to build anything up with. I don't get it, man. I would never come on to another reactor's channel as a just general commenter, even if I didn't like what was going on. I'm not talking about like they're grossly doing something that's crazy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I watched a video where they were watching like Aurora, and they were very respectful and they're positive, but they didn't get it all. And I was like, and maybe they didn't do it the way I wanted to. Okay. They didn't have the details I was looking for, or they didn't do the format of how I wanted them to do. I had a guy one time, and this is what's funny, and he's way smaller channel than me. He came on and with 3 different channels, 2 British channels because he was British himself, and then my channel for some reason. And I guess it's because I, as a gaming channel in the beginning, I had and still kind of do have a lot of British individuals that follow the channel because they were following me. And then I also do quite a bit of stuff Oh. Um, with, you know, British artists like Ren or Chinchilla or somebody like that. Example. Anyway, he went through and told us how we were doing all our channels wrong, and like talked about how um, basically we're crap. And I was like, what is wrong with you, man? Why would you, especially as a fledgling channel, go into somebody? So I went to his channel. I went and watched the video. I liked it, and I was very positive to him. And I just told him, say, hey, look, man, I'm the guy that you went over and said very hateful things to. You don't know me from Adam. And while you may not like how I do my reactions, the last thing I would recommend for you to do is, as a reaction channel yourself, is to go over and start attacking other people that do what you do. Okay? I said, because you're going to find that no matter what you do, there's always going to be negative people saying something crazy. Well, that channel was gone within a couple months. I watched it. He had nothing to offer. I mean, even on the worst day that you've ever watched me react and you thought, wow, you really didn't add anything to this, it that pales in comparison to what he did. Well, I mean, as far as what I mean is my reaction was better than what he was presenting out there. And it's not about like crapping on this guy and whatever. It's just the mentality, man. There's a right way and there's a wrong. There's a bunch of right ways and there's a whole bunch of wrong ways that you can do things, right? It is what it is, man. And I guess the whole thing is you just get tired of listening to the troll, to the the degenerate, disrespectful, stupid comments that honestly, quite honestly, nobody could really give us a shit about. And you should stop making, as a community, should stop being a thing where you guys are constantly encouraging that. I'm not saying that I don't hear like what I mean is the people that are thumbs upping because they're haters too, of course. You know that. Like, let's be real. Only like one person will ever. Maybe you might get like 3 to 5 people max on like a huge video that go along with something like that, just because they're probably their friends, or it's they've liked their own comment to try to make it look like they're not the only one. I don't care. I don't care. I want you to know that I've said that from before. Like, look, mentally, physically, and spiritually, all those ways, I'm in a great place. And I do this for me because I love it. I hope you guys understand that I know that I'm not perfect, and I'm not an expert, and I don't do instruments, and there's a lot of things that I don't talk about in a music reaction. However, I do what most reactors do, and that's react. But I do try to be educational, and I try to be a little bit entertaining. And I put my work out here in front of everybody and God to see pretty much for free, day in and day out. Because, again, like I told you, I don't make tons and tons of money from YouTube at this size of a channel at the moment. And I'm still growing like a weed every single day. As one person said, you got on a rocket ship. And it's going to continue. And I get that. And I'm going to continue to get better because, see, that's my pledge. When I see things like this is what it inspires me. While it does inspire me to tell the bully to go fuck off, it also inspires me to tell you that, look, knowing those things, I'm trying to get better. And I think everybody else around me in these type spaces are on that program because I try to surround myself with people that don't act like victims and have a winner's mentality. So that's what it is. At the same time, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I enjoy the blatant disrespect and the shitty comments that come in and not say something about it to let you know that I think that it is shitty and it's wrong and it's stupid. And I think you kind of are. Especially when you don't know me personally and you make all these assumptions and you say all these dumbass things. Like, I'm going to keep it real with you. What's that say? That's why I say it. Look, I'm a nice individual for the most part. I am. I really am. I'm very social. I go around, I talk to people all day long. And I realize I'm more long winded than a lot of people like sometimes. But it's who I am. And I'm positive, though. And I'm happy. And I'm trying to be that. Why would you want to change that? I can be a dick. I can be a monster. It's just not the person I want to be again. right? And that's what I'd urge for you. Hey, this has been my conversation. It's 45 minutes in. This has been my conversation for the day. I know it's not specifically podcast related, but this is the best place to talk about it. Like I said, man, I get sick of it. And I realize I get it. I know a lot of you are going to comment out there, don't listen to the trolls, Sarge. You're really reacting for us. I know that. I 100% know that. But you trolls don't escape my gaze, okay? If I had it my way, I'd stamp you out personally. It's not possible. There's too many. And you know what? I'm not going to expend any more energy on it. But I did want to bring it up today because, again, like I said, I'm not the only channel this happens to. I see it all the time. And I just think it's disgusting. And I want you to know, if you're one of those individuals, you're a disgusting individual. I'm not talking about a constructive criticism. I'm not talking about something that would help build this person up, even if it's correcting things that they do on screen. I'm talking about you came to say hateful things to people so you could tear them down because they didn't do the reaction the way they wanted to, or simply because you're a miserable individual that likes to tear people down. You get a jolly off that. You think the world bows to you. Maybe you think, I don't know, maybe you have a God complex and you think everything's about you. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm not going to make those assumptions. They're just out there, right? Stop it. It's stupid. With that being said, look, for everybody else out there that's not on that program, just know I love you. I appreciate you. I wanted to do something today anyway, so I thought this would be a great topic to bring up. This isn't coming from a place of being butthurt or upset or really anything. It's just addressing it. Like, I feel like a lot of the time in our community, people are like, you shouldn't react to the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. I get that. But there should be somebody. And it probably shouldn't be me. But there should be somebody, man, that toes the line for people that are sick and tired of your bullshit when it comes to that. Really, honestly. And I'm not necessarily going to be that person, but I'm going to let you know, if you think that you've came to a channel that's just going to sit back and be quiet and let you keep disrespecting them, fuck you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful reaction to my reaction of Home Free today. I hope you have fun, and I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I hope you guys come back and see me on next Tuesday when I react to new artists for the channel, or new songs for the channel, or maybe somebody's older catalog but new to my channel. And I really thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, if you're there bopping along with me and understanding the journey musically that I'm on and what we're doing here on my channel. I appreciate it. For everybody else, you know exactly how I feel. I've been Sarge. I hope you eat well. Be safe. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.